In 2020, I saw the most shocking thing of my life. For the first time, I spent 2 months in my community in Obanliku local government area of Cross River State. When I arrived, I was greeted by this really young girl, a 12-year-old. And she goes, "Hi, auntie, you're welcome." And in my normal African way, I discovered that her belly was protruded. So I decided to say, "Oh, wow, you must have eaten too much today." And we all laughed. Later that night, I was woken up by my auntie. She said, "Favour, wake up." She was really disturbed. She shared that the girl I met was a 12-year-old pregnant girl. I was shocked. I've never seen it in my life. At dawn, I quickly rushed into the community. And while I passed every street and every corner, I was greeted by teen moms, by girls that were pregnant, young girls as young as 12. I was shocked. I'd never seen this before. And I began to ask myself, why is this so prominent here? I formed a team, and we began walking through the villages and the clans of Obanliku. We began asking questions. Why? What is the reason behind this common culture? The first was illiteracy, we discovered. The second was poverty. And the third was money marriage. A culture which somehow people have tried to see how they can be lost put to it. And the local government has put on efforts, but still thrives in Obanliku local government. In that culture, girls are given as payment for debts or given for a sum of money or a loan. And I begin to think, how long do we want to thrive in this culture? My team and I, we began an awareness campaign. We entered every village, every school, every nook and cranny, telling people on the dangers of teenage pregnancy. We were hopeful that our voices that were raised will stop this predominant culture, but it still thrived. So we began to ask ourselves, what is the big question? And this is it. 10 million children in Nigeria out of school. And 60% of these are girls. 10 to 15% is caused by teenage pregnancy. This is a UNICEF statistics. Out of the 10 million of girls that are out of school, we have so many teen moms, so many. Out of the 60% of the 10 million, we have so many teen moms. And we say, what can we do to teen moms to get them back to school? And there, we started the Second Chance Education Project. First, we gathered girls in their numbers, about 50 of them in the community. And we sat them down to ask them questions. First, I noticed this young girl, really young. Her name was Mary. And while I looked at her, she was so innocent. I never thought she was a teen mom. She was too young. So I called her out to speak. And there I noticed the problem. She was voiceless. She was not talking. So I quickly asked, is this a teen mom or a child to one of you here? And they quickly registered that, yes, she's one of us. She is a teen mom. And when I asked her, how old are you? She began crying so profusely she could not say any word. When Mary later opened her mouth, she told me how she got pregnant at the age of 12 and had her first child at 13. This broke me. Mary never said anything after that. She was so quiet. All we could do was find a way to give them education. Because I believe that education is one of the tools that can change the life of women and girls across the world. I think of Malala, how she used education to change the status quo for girls in our society. I think about people who fight for education because they understand the importance of giving girls voices through education. In some of the most places in the world, education has been a tool to giving women empowerment, even to raise up their social standing, even to give them economic empowerment. And then this would be no different for our teen moms. So we decided to give them education. The first time Mary would smile was when she walked into the school compound. This is Mary, and this is Mary with other girls. Her dreams of becoming a doctor came back alive when she walked into the school compound. She saw realities, things she has never seen. This is Mary. Just like many other girls in Nigeria, we have Marys whose dreams have been lost because they got pregnant. I think about how Mary shared that she was rejected both by her parents and the very person who gave her a child. And I begin to ask my question. Why does society see that by nature a woman should carry a baby, but do not train boys to by nurture carry up the responsibility of their shared intimacies with girls? Can we have more responsible men who, when you get a woman pregnant, decides that, yes, this is my responsibility? Mary shares how this boy goes on to school and continues his education, but leaves her rejected and down. I think about how many women, just like the like of Forbes rated most successful entrepreneur in American history, Diane Hendricks. She rose from being a 17-year-old teen mom and a play bunny to becoming one of America's finest and most successful entrepreneurs. I think of people like Sarah Jakes Roberts, daughter of popular American pastor, who is today one of the biggest inspiration to many millions of women all over the world. I think about women who have risen above the status quo of being teen moms to becoming prolific people in society. And I ask, why do we not want to give them second chances? Because somehow, if we look at our lives, we have somehow been placed in conditions where we needed second chances to go forward. I think about how Sarah Jake shared how her father was a major support to her as a teen mom. I'm not saying the teenage pregnancy culture should thrive. I am saying that we all deserve second chances. I didn't want us to treat teen moms like people who are not humans, or like people who do not deserve to be heard, like people who should be quieted because of their conditions. I want us to treat them more humanly, more deserving, more loving, because that is who they are. They are human beings first before they are teen moms. So let us think about how humane we can be to everyone before sending that child out of the house. Quickly ask and think about the fact that she's a human being. I'm forced to think about how many girls in northern Nigeria are sold out to child marriage. Forced to think about how many girls become teen moms because they are left in the hands of barbaric cultures and traditions. And then I think about the Child Not Bride campaign in Nigeria and how the government should give a voice to this in order to curb some of the barbaric traditions that get girls out of school when they are teenage mothers, when they are married off. I'm calling on all of us to see how we can give that teen mom around us support to go back from not just being that girl to becoming an extraordinary giant and her voice become that voice that the society counts on. They matter. Their lives matter. Teen moms matter. And as long as we are here, we're still going to keep giving second chances to them because we all deserve a second chance. And yes, we have voices. So now is the time to give our voices, to lend our voices to them and to show them all that they can be. Thank you.